Hey guys, it's Sci-Fi Guy 2094, and I am going to be talking about Godzilla Minus One. So, Godzilla Minus One, I think, is a very good movie. You know, the human characters, the story is definitely there. I had heard it was a very good story as far as the human characters go. You know, a lot of the complaints about the monster verse, the American films, is that these human characters, they're so boring, they're annoying, which I mean they can be sometimes. I really like King of the Monsters, the story and that one, but a lot of times people don't like them. But hey, I gotta say Godzilla Minus One really knocked it out of the park. As far as the human story goes, so obviously you have this kamikaze pilot, which is obviously their missions are basically they're suicide bombers. Basically, they're not supposed to come back alive. So basically, he lied and said that his plane was having maintenance issues, and he went to this island to basically get it repaired. And basically, yeah, like there were no repairs to be done. He was afraid of war, and he didn't want to die. And you can see that he's kind of living with guilt later in the film, because in the beginning, the island that he lands on for repairs, Godzilla actually attacks. And this is like a baby Godzilla. He's like in his juvenile form. He looks absolutely terrifying, though. He is, man, he's really scary. He basically kills everybody, and the main character is the only guy who survives. So, like I said, he feels a lot of guilt about that. Later on, he even he's talking to like the scientist and the other people after they do the time skip, and he's basically saying like, yeah, I just froze up, I was at the gun and I didn't do anything, and they all died because of me. So it's really great. Obviously he finds this girl who is taking care of this baby, and the baby's not even hers. They kind of form this makeshift family because, again, their whole city and way of life has been destroyed, and they're trying to rebuild. Really great aspect of the film. Made you really care about the people of Japan. Now let's talk about Godzilla. So the Godzilla design was pretty cool. The monster itself was pretty awesome. Some really cool battle scenes when he's in the ocean, and they're trying to basically gather these mines, and they actually detonate them to kind of damage Godzilla. One of them is like it goes like right in his mouth, and then they shoot it and it blows up right in his face. Doesn't do too much because he heals pretty quickly. um, and then yeah, there's Godzilla rampaging through the city, just tearing stuff up, like Godzilla does. So I really liked the action. It was pretty cool. The atomic breath was pretty sick, honestly. I kind of liked in this one how his dorsal plates, when he's charging his atomic breath, they actually stick up out of his skin. So, as you see the atomic breath moving up his back, each dorsal plate comes up. And then when he's ready to release it, the dorsal plates sink back in. And then he like shoots this atomic blast. And it destroyed an entire city, basically. It just leveled the entire city. And the dude's wife, well, it wasn't his wife, it was kind of like his girlfriend. And basically she kind of died. The whole city was leveled. um, Except at the end we find out she wasn't really dead. Somehow she survived the blast that leveled the entire city, which I didn't like that part, because to me it's just like, okay, I mean, I understand they wanted it to be a happy ending, but for the most part, this film was pretty realistic, and I didn't think that her surviving an atomic blast really made it. It didn't really make that much sense to me. If anything, she could have just died, and that way, the main character could, still be living with some grief. The fact that this girl died, but anyway, she didn't really die. That was kind of my only quarrel with this film. Other than that, everything's pretty good. The monster design, the action scenes, the battles, when they fight him in the ocean, those scenes were awesome. When they fight him in the city, a lot of those scenes were awesome too. So, Godzilla minus one, I would definitely give this film a solid 9.5 out of 10. And I gotta say 9.5 because the girl survived when basically that whole city was leveled. I don't think she should have survived. Anyway, that's just my opinion on this film. I know Godzilla minus one was highly praised, and I gotta praise it too because the thing is, this was like a $15 million budget. So it was $15 million, and everything that they were able to do with this film was absolutely fantastic. So I definitely liked minus one, 9.5 out of 10. And if you guys haven't seen it yet, it's on Netflix. You should definitely check it out.